Hello guys and welcome. As you can tell, my camera is doing that little thing where it, hang on, wait for it. Is it of course, like the minute I start needing it to, there it goes. Okay. So there's a little flutter. It keeps doing that consistently, and I thought instead of doing that, I'm also going to offer a second perspective with this webcam that I'm going to hold comically close to my face for today's video. What is today's video, you might ask? Well, if you're not able to read or you're blind or something, or you're really bad at context clues, we are going to be doing a tier list, and you might be wondering what brought this on. Well, I happened to hit a clip on a streamer's tournament recently in Rocket League.
See it. Let's see Kipsy. Ceiling. Musty. Oh wait, it's so perfect. Oh, he's clean with it.
Of course, after hitting a ceiling musty double, I went and watched it probably, 40 times, and that meant that I was sitting inside of Forbidden Temple watching it many, many times over, and I thought, how come I haven't made a tier list? Because this place is beautiful after I started looking around. So that is precisely what we're going to be doing today. So I thought it was important to do this because I haven't seen a ton of tier lists for Rocket League, but I think it deserves one. Famously, we should make an example out of one of the maps, which is Neon Fields. It was taken out of competitive like almost immediately after it was put in, and yeah, it definitely goes in C tier. Beautiful map, just pretty bright. Actually, I'm gonna switch that up. I think it deserves a high or a mid B tier, low B tier maybe, because the map is actually good. I think it was just a bunch of crappy plats complaining about the contrast and whatnot. I actually hit some clips on this map, so I'm not on the camp of, was it too bright? Was it too contrasting? Whatever. It didn't blind me. I didn't think it was bad. Next up is Deadeye. This is going in A tier, 100%. No questions asked, and let me tell you why. So, Deadeye is a map that has gotten a little bit of hate because of its sandy textures, especially after some people complain that Salty Shores might be too bright, but yeah, no, it has much darker sand, and I think if you're complaining about Deadeye being too bright, you need to get out of your home and touch some grass, you fucking vert. Next up, we have Urban Central. Now, I love me some Urban Central, but I'm gonna put it solidly in C tier, and the reasoning is pretty simple. I like the station theme, the train theme, the asphalt inside. But it's I don't want to say outdated, because this came out with the game pretty much in 2015. So, of course, it's going to be outdated, but that's not the issue. The issue is I don't think it committed to a theme hard enough. I don't think it allowed for too great of an art style. I don't think it committed to one. However, one of the earlier maps did a much better job of this, and of course I'm talking about Utopia Coliseum, which we will put ahead of Neon Fields here for a couple reasons. So Utopia actually had great design in picking a theme and sticking to it, having a bunch of stuff to add to it. In Utopia Coliseum, there's like a semicircle, it's like an amphitheater almost, where the crowd sits, and where the crowd sits, and on the other side there's like villas, and I don't think favelas is there. I think that's Brazilian, but anyways, it has a bunch of villas on the other side, and it's just really well designed. Next up, this is one that a bunch of people have been talking about recently because it just came out. So, Comically Bad Neo Tokyo, and there is a reason it's going in C tier. It is because I think Psyonix is getting into a bad habit of repurposing maps. I know if it's evident that they're buying time to move Rocket League to Unreal Engine 5, then that's totally fine, but I'm not 100% sure that's the case. Like, it does come off as lazy, but I can't really tell. Like, they've told us that they're working on moving into Unreal Engine 5 in the long term, but it's necessary that the audience knows that if they're like pumping the brakes on this a little bit on maps like this and not going all out on some stuff and giving new ideas, stuff like that, because they're spending resources moving it to Unreal Engine 5, then that would make more sense. But for the time being, yeah, that's totally going there. So the next one that I really want to get to is Salty Shores, and I'm gonna put it in A for similar reason why I put Deadeye in there. Deadeye had like a full-on Western theme. It had a small oasis, some nice-looking rocks. It committed to a canyon theme, like a Western canyon kind of style, and I really liked it. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good theme. Salty Shores, again, is another one that people have said is like too bright because the sand, it's supposed to be modeled after, like, I think Santa Monica Pier. Is that what it's called? I think in California. And it does a good job of that, but it has a really nice theme. There's just a few things that you could be able to improve upon. Themes are so important, and this next one's a really good example of that. Wasteland. Where do you guys think it goes? DCBAS. Say it out loud right now, so you have to commit to one. Okay, it goes in A, and here's why. So let's say that for the sake of argument that you go to Wasteland, right? And it has this really nice kind of grungy theme. Everything looks rusty and old and crap. Even the people, man. I mean, come on. I go here, I show up to somewhere like this in real life, and I'm expecting for some dude like this to show up and offer me a lot of this, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's that theme going on there. Forbidden Temple, right? You see these beautiful mountains in the back, this temple. It's very calm and relaxing. It has a great, ancient Chinese theme to it. I mean, it feels really like Xi Jinping's about to show up in the next, 2 minutes and just fucking... That's why I put Wasteland in A, and spoiler alert, we're going to put Forbidden Nutsack in S, because Forbidden Temple is just a sick map in general. Let's talk about Aquadome. So Aquadome has a really nice underwater theme. It would be a sin to put it lower than B, just based on how much effort was actually put into it. So I won't. I'm going to put it at the bottom of B. Because, it's fairly well done. The underwater theme, all the design characteristics of it fit the underwater well. But it just doesn't feel unique enough. Doesn't feel specific enough. I don't know. It feels very vague in some ways. Which sounds strange, but if you play Aquadome enough, you know what I mean. Let's talk about reformed Neo Tokyo. So, interestingly enough, this is not comic Neo Tokyo. So this actually, I should honestly put it at the top of B tier. So I'm going to. In the beginning, if you recall, way back in the day, whenever Neo Tokyo originally came out, this was like in 2016 probably, or 2017. Can't remember exactly. They released the overpass. You know what? Screw it. I'll just like literally Google search it like right now. You get a nice like up view. You can see my sexy ass nose. Now look at this. This is an interesting thing. Okay, it's called Underpass, but that's besides the point. So if you'll notice, I'm pulling this up. So it's 2016. Look at this. This artifact, November 22nd, 2016, beat the Neo Tokyo Rams. So Neo Tokyo used to have this thing called the Underpass variation of the map, and that included these neat little ramps on the side that offered extra skill needed, or an extra something, I don't know. That's what the developers said whenever they were asked to defend their decision to make a non-standard map. And the community set them on fire and pushed them off a bridge and they got rid of it. And so now we have Reformed Utopia, which is the standardized version of the map. And it goes in B tier because it has a really great theme. Now we have Beckwith Park, and which I have no guilt whatsoever putting in the bottom of C. Honestly, would consider putting it at D. And let me give you a little preview why. So you see all of this, right? So you have a strange layout of trees like around this. Like there's some over here behind the immediate area surrounding the field. You have the nice skyline here, which is cool. It's great. You see it in most of the other maps. I don't know whose videos these are, but I'm trying not to okay, dude. It looks like some dude who just booted up Unreal for like his third map building session tried to go ham in designing a map, and he came out with this strange tree structure. It feels enclosed in Beckwith Park. Now you can see Manfield over there. This is a cool little thing that Reddit came out with some time ago. That Beckwith Park is like not far from Manfield. It's like right over there. But anyways, it's such a strange design, and it doesn't work in any way, shape, or form. I'm not sure exactly what was being gone for there, but not a fan. We move on to DFH. Now, DFH, it's a classic. We all love it. And I'm going to go ahead and pull it up now. Probably should have done this with all of them, but it doesn't matter. Might do it later. So, DFH is named for Psyonix's CEO, Dave Hagewood. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but we're not going to talk about that. So, there's also a circuit variation, but it's literally just this track that goes around it. And, I mean, it does have, where is it? These little balloon pillars and arch over the goal in the circuit variation, but it's not really that important to know. The one strange thing about DFH is you see this like outside border around the stadium or around the actual field. So funny thing, that actually extends way the fuck out here. It seems psychotic and unnecessary to have that much space between the field and the stands. Check this out. There are a bunch of fans who can't even see the field. That's a rip. I mean, that's not going to affect the score I'm going to give DFH. And Manfield has the same problem, mind you. And Manfield's barely going to survive. I would put it... I'm honestly going to put it above Urban Central, Manfield. But DFH, I'm sorry, Dave. Next up, and I should say lastly, we have Farmstead. So Farmstead has this really nice, warm design. It's just really well done. You got some barns over here. You got a billboard every now and then, which isn't too far off, honestly. And then you have this nice meadow over here with a tire swing on a tree over there. Yes, please. And then the stands, they're made of wood. Now, I need to remind you that I come from a super small town, and at our grounds or whatever where we have the rodeos and whatnot, we have very, very similar stands to this. They're made of wood. I mean, of course, there are pipes that support everything, but I would say it's just well done. That is such a tiny picture that's not even worth using. Anyways, doesn't matter. Farmstead is well designed, and for that, I'm going to put it ahead of Salty Shores. And so I think this really rounds out the tier list well, because it's pleasant. It's symmetrical. It's really just nice. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the tier list. If you agreed with it, let me know. If you didn't, actually, no, you should tell me if you didn't agree with it. If you did agree with it, go fuck yourself, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.